Thank you. Hold on one second. Not trying to build suspense here, but hey. I grew up in Mexico, in the state of Sonora, by the Sea of Cortez, in a hometown called Guaymas. My home is located at Calle 10 Oriente, entre Avenidas 1 y 2, Lote 15, Manzana 66, Prolongación Pedro G. Moreno, Colonia San Vicente, Código Postal 85400. I grew up with my grandparents and my mom. We lived in a tiny house with a tin roof. It didn't matter that it was near the city dump. It didn't matter that we had no running water or that the walls in that house were eaten up by sea salt underneath. What mattered was that huge backyard. My dog and I spent our afternoons there. The dirt in that backyard was really hard and dry, but if we dug a hole, we could find seashells. I used to tell my dog, many, many years ago, there was an ocean here. She didn't care. I thought that was magical. Every month, my grandfather would record my height on the edge of a wall. He would draw a line and then write the date right next to it. When I turned 6, he declared that I was old enough to write the date next to my mark. So I did. The surface of the wall was so soft, and the pencil felt just so good against it, that later that day, I wrote on that wall again. It was my first math equation. I did it on the kitchen wall right next to the fridge for everyone to see. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. The numbers were clear, the math was correct, perfection. So when I got in trouble for it, I was really shocked. I was told not to do it again, but I just could not stop. So when my grandparents were taking their afternoon nap, I would go into the living room to our bookshelf, the only bookshelf in the house. And I would take a couple of books out, draw something, and then put the books right back. My grandpa kept all of his favorite books on top of the bookshelf, so I knew that the bottom shelves would go untouched for a very long time. So I drew for every day for about a year. Until one day, after many days of rain, there was a leak in the living room ceiling. I heard that the wall behind the bookshelf was really damaged. All the furniture would have to be moved. I started getting really nervous. I even volunteered to climb up all the way to the top of the bookshelf so I could place a bucket and stop the leak. But the bookshelf was moved. I saw it slide slowly to one side, and there it was. A whole strip of drawings of cars, airplanes, drawings of my dog and her puppies, many generations of puppies. Even a declaration to the girl that I had my first crush on, Lorena, te amo. It was all there. I knew that I would be in trouble, and I was. But right before the shame of being found out, I was really satisfied. That was my life. It was beautifully aligned, all in pencil. It was my first mural. The drawings were painted over, but I could still see them through the thin layer of paint. And every time I saw that, it kind of tickled me. I promised not to draw on the wall again, so I drew everywhere else and wherever I could. I would move my bed and draw on the corners of my room. I drew inside the drawings of my dresser and in the back of my notebooks. I drew my confessions in the dirt. I wrote poems and hid them under my bed. I wrote love notes and I buried them. There was just so much noise around me. Stop climbing those trees. Walk straight. You get dirty too easily. You pull your underwear too much. You wear your shorts too short. You wear your shorts too loose. Why do you like school so much? Why try? You're gonna fail. You watch. When I moved to the US at 17, nothing really felt safe. For over 10 years, I commuted to work for 2 hours every morning. So I would draw. I became interested in the lives of the regular commuters, so I began to record conversations I overheard. At work, I drew on Post-it notes while standing by a Xerox machine for 8 hours a day, waiting to load more paper. I drew about embarrassing moments in my life. I drew about heartbreaks. Then 5 years ago, I noticed that I had accumulated several shoeboxes full of sketches. I couldn't hide them under my sofa anymore. So I took them all out, and I went to the living room, and I spread all the sketches all over the floor. And then piece by piece, I sorted them out, and I created my first comic strip. Since then, I shared my story many times. I usually talk about school, but today I really wanted to show and share something else. I want to tell you tonight that even though it's still very difficult, I no longer want to hide. I want to tell you that I was an artist when I was 6, that I'm still in the process of accepting and discovering that there's still a lot of pain and a lot of joy underneath, that everything I am now has been there before, like that ocean in my backyard, that all I want is to be whole in all my awkwardness, in all my silliness, in all my longing for that home that no longer exists and that I miss every day. My stories, my love for drawing, my love for my grandparents, and my precious time with them, that all has remained intact. How about you? Did you create something and hide it? Write your name on a school desk or on the sole of your shoes? Do you remember practicing your signature over and over again? Did you doodle during class? Do you doodle now when you're bored, during work meetings? Do you hold on to things like I do? Small things that remind you who you were, who you've always been? And if not drawings, what would you like to leave behind? And isn't that what we all want to do? To leave a mark somehow? Thank you.